Hello everyone, my name is Adrian Gonzalez. I am part of Team Cobalt Acolyte, and today I will be demonstrating our Varger project. So first things first, let me open it up and demonstrate the main menu. So once it opens to the main menu, you have the options to start game, see how to play, level select, options, credits, and quit. Quit will quit the game if I press yes, or go back if I say no. Credits is just everybody's names. That's it. If you go back, there's the options, which you can adjust these, and it will save them in the pause menu, and I will demonstrate that when I come back in level 3. Apply those, we're good. How to play. Start game will open the game from the first level. In fact, here I'll show the options are here. It will show that they are saved. In fact, if I turn this down, save that, it will show that these are changed like this in the main menu. If I quit, it will return me to the main menu. Okay, so I will go through, show that you can open all the levels through here. So Journey to the Rockies is this first level. It is the tutorial level. If I go back, I will open the next level, which I believe is Grasslands. And these are still the same as they were in the pause menu. Go back, I'll open the next level, Awakening of God. And it will open to this, which is the starting area for this level. Oh, sorry, gotta quit and then do the level selection. Level select, Whispering Sands Overlook opens to this level. And then the final actual level to play through is Eagle Peak, which is this level. If I go back, the final thing to open in the main menu is the combat testing area, which is, as it sounds, just an area to test the different items and things of the game. That is all for the main menu. Next will be Nick going through level 1 through 2, I believe. And then I will return for level 3 to demonstrate the pause menu again and level 3. First, let me take you through the tasks that I completed for this that were demonstrated in this video. So, polish new UI system was the task that was demonstrated in this one. As the player, I want the UI to feel and look polished. There were no dependencies, and the completion criteria was add new sound effects, adjust button effects and sounds, adjust highlight color when selecting with controller. That is the only one I didn't show. I will show that real quick. Adjusting button effects and sounds was where if you're hovering over the button, it changes colors. When you click on it, it also changes colors. Add new sound effects was primarily the getting the pause menu music to function as it needed to in the pause menu. Um, and I will very quickly show the controller highlighting. Get my controller set up here. Okay, so they have a white outline on them, but when you select them with the controller, it changes to blue, and then when you click on things, it will change to green, like it does when you hover. I mean when you select them, and the hovering is this changing to orange, just to demonstrate that while we are here as well. Just very quickly, I will demonstrate this, the pause menu. There was one bug where this menu music would not go away when you clicked load. It does now. And that is all from me for now. On to Nick.
Hi, my name is Nick Kyle and today I'm going to be showing you level 1. Level 1 is our tutorial level. Let me start off by showing you the pause menu. So our pause menu, you pop it open by using P. You can use the select level to open up a sub menu, and in here you have all the different levels you can choose to teleport to. You can click the grasslands and you'll teleport to the grasslands, and you can go back to level 1. Let me show you that if you move forward a little bit and then you press restart level, it'll restart the level. And then if you go to our options menu, you can change the sound and the ambient sound and the effects on the game, and you can hit apply changes and it'll save. And we can go back in there and we can readjust it up. So now let me show you the tasks that I worked on for this month or this last sprint. I was in charge of basically going through the levels and replacing all of the assets that had grid mesh materials on them and making sure that everything kind of matched our nature scene the best that it could before we go into the final polishing month. I replaced the burning bush with the basic wall that we had and put some foliage on it and made the wall invisible so it looked more natural. I added a few posts onto the tents, and I added a new nature sound in the background of all the levels because our previous one had an angry bee that really kind of made the player wonder where the bee was. So we got one that didn't have an angry bee sounding that chased the player. Um, Let me go ahead and show you some of the tasks that I had assigned. My major one was this one was replacing all the block mesh assets with art assets or what we could that we had that isn't on our list to have the artist or however we need to get them for our polish. So that was for level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and technically it was across the board because these assets were in all the levels. So when I did the rock pile and the tent and I added just a few things to it to make it look a little maybe prettier or stand out, it did that across all the levels. So my time on some of them I had was 4 hours. That got more or less adjusted. Like level 4, I put 0 minutes down because Sean worked on his own level. Besides the assets that I worked on in the blueprints and changed the materials, all the other guys were worked on level 4 and level 5, and I just went through um, level 1, 2, and 3 and just made sure everything was still okay. And then so did Adrian, so that we could double check and make sure that any assets that were replaced with the meshes or anything like that didn't get messed up. And actually, the first one did was in this gap here. It was flat on the ground, and luckily somebody caught that and let me know. So let's go ahead and continue through the level here. Break the wall, get the burning stick, you throw it at the burning wall, we'll burn the bush, get the rock, throw it at the wall, and then you have a little wall run here. So let's go ahead and go across that. Matt did the animation for the wall run. I did like the jump animation and stuff and try to work on that too this month. Before, when you bit or attacked in the air, it interrupted the animation. So I went through and just tried to smooth that off. Like I said, he did. Matt did the wall run animation himself. So I did put some falling boulders on this side. I'll try to show you kind of a. Actually, I'll do the in kind of our lose condition in this tutorial level. I'll show you this way, um, where we have the enemy that can do some damage. So the player gets the burning stick. Actually, I think it is rock here. Then I need the burning stick. Alright, so burning stick, and then we got to go down and throw this at the fire, light the fire, and then we're going to go over the follow this path. There's our burning bush. Let's light that and burn it out of the way. So inside here I have a bear hidden. So let's just go ahead and show you a lose condition. If you didn't make the air dash, this is kind of where I'm teaching the player to do an air dash, to press shift in the air to get across. So say you did not do that right, You fall in here, uh, and the player gets mauled by the bear. We'll let him maul us down to 0 so I can show you the lose condition. We passed the checkpoint, so that we'll save. We'll start back probably after the wall run. Yes. So our checkpoint was here after the wall run. So let me go ahead and show you this way. This is another lose condition. It won't kill me, but to encourage the player to run up to the wall run, I put some falling boulders here. They did damage to the player if the player is underneath them. This again was just to encourage the player to run up and test out or practice the wall run. So if you do this and you run across, there's no boulders that will fall on you. But if you don't and you decided to run down the path, you better run fast and avoid the boulders. So I said I did the rock piles over. This was one of the tasks that I had in here. Um, let's see. That was part of the replace block. This kind of entailed a few different things, which polish the burning bushes. It's where I've shown you. I put 1 hour down on this just to go through and make it look a little bit more natural, blended in. The level exit I'm about to show you, that is something else I made. It was just a plain black cube mesh, and we had it pushed up against the wall, and I tried to make it a little bit more attractive to the eye of the player. And then again, we're replacing it. So that was part of it, was replacing the rock pile block mesh, and it still does the same functions. You can throw it at the enemy if you can hit them. But I will go ahead and just show you so I can get ready to end this video and show you level 2. So our level exit here, I just put a little rocks next to it. Still functions the same. And this brings you into level 2. So I will go ahead and walk you through this one, since this was my other level that I did. And with this one, I'll go ahead and show you the tasks. So replace block mesh assets and level 2. Again, all the block mesh assets are shared throughout the levels. So for instance, the mountains in the background, that changed through all the levels. So let's go ahead and run through this level 2 real quick, and I will show you what I changed on here. So I added just the health totem over here. Before I had a damage up totem, and it kind of doubled our damage too much, and we took all the damage totems out of the levels for now, to work on them. So for now, we just have a health bonus. Um, and in our first area here, we got the objective of kill 5 rabbits. So let's get that done real quick. Chomp these guys down. Alright, so let's grab our burning stick. We'll light our fire over here. Then we'll grab this and light our burning bush. Alright, so nothing was really changed out of these first 2 areas. They stayed they stayed the same. I got rid of a few tutorial bubbles that were unnecessary. This is just an area mainly to practice the beehives, and there is a little bit of a, I'd call like the burning stick puzzle, where you gotta try to aim the stick before it disappears. But um, let's kill our deer first. So kill 5 deer is the objective. I have it set up. This was from last sprint, but basically, if you burn the bush and try to go through, it would stop you with the tree wall, and it would tell you that you have to complete the objectives first. So 1 more deer. Chop this deer down. Alright, so let's go ahead and go get the burning stick. And we got rid of double jump out of this. That was to kind of go with the jump animation itself. The jump is still kind of being balanced as far as the jump Z number. It's set at 800 right now, but it likely will change due to just needing some balancing on it. But we got rid of the double jump because it was just kind of unnecessary. And in order to, I put a cooldown on the jump, so you get 2-second cooldown on it. So this area, I changed it from Bison Plateau. The bison were not animated, and I didn't have the time to animate them. So I put mountain lions in here instead. Made a UI for the mountain lion objective, and the player has to kill 4 mountain lions. Then they will be able to move on to the next area, and I will do that right now. Pretty brutal, might die. All right, so We just got chomped by the mountain lion. Luckily, there's a checkpoint there, so let's go ahead and get that one. Let's see, there's one. I am working on other enemies, or we are possibly going to put a moose or boar in. But for right now, to get the build out, I went ahead and just, you know, kept it with enemies that we had, and then just changed the objective. I had to put something in that had a hostility towards the player to kind of show you the combat instead of just running around and being able to chomp on the prey. So the next change I did is I got a volume here that will spawn the boss, which there you got the boss. You smell a hunter in the area. So Blake made this hunter stand. He revamped it too, so it has the laser uh, pointing at the player and it shoots. I replaced this with the bear that I had as the boss to finish off the level. So if the player gets up close, the hunter stand starts to throw out dynamite sticks, and the player needs to stun the legs by getting that leg health down, and then you can attack up here as well. But when the legs are stunned and the health is 0 on the legs, it will stun that hunter stand from being able to throw dynamite at you. So, and once you clear it, we're gonna head towards the fire totem. Once we collect the fire totem, we're gonna head towards the last spot of the level, which is the level exit. We can put the fire on by pressing 2. And that'll come in handy for level 3 as you run through that level. And Adrian's going to take that level and run y'all through it. Thanks for joining me.
Hello everyone, this is Adrian again, here to demonstrate level 3, and first things first, let me run through the pause menu. So, you can go to the select level, you can select all these levels. If you press the pause menu button again, it will not open another menu. You can save, you can load, which will just, so I saved with fire. If I go here, I load, it'll make sure that I get that back. I can restart the level, which will send you back to the beginning, and also load things again, as well as the options, which I can adjust, just like in the main menu. And finally, there is the quit button, which will take me back to the main menu. For now, that is it. Let me run through the level. This area over here got adjusted during this sprint, just because originally there was 4 bears, so it was a little bit more difficult to actually fight through them and survive with the current setup as opposed to before with the level setup. Open that up. There is 2 hidden totems in this level. There is a total of 3. One of them is on the main path that you will take during the level, so that one we will see no matter what. I will go out of my way for now to show the 2 optional ones. This bear's gonna fight me. This is the first optional totem back here, and if I go over here, there is a puzzle that you can choose to do through here if you do not have the fire totem active, which is just if you have it active, you can use the howl to burn things, but if not, you have to link those fires all the way across. Since I do have the fire howl active, I will demonstrate that solution for it. Also quickly demonstrate the second and final optional totem, which is behind this rock wall here. Quickly fight the cougar, pick up the health totem, and finally fight this last bear. This is the last bastion before the actual first boss fight of the level, which is a polar bear. Okay, so I will come over here, use my howl to burn these leaves, hit the checkpoint, and fight the polar bear real quick. Stick and move approach is best for the bosses. Just get in, do the damage, get out. This one, yeah, he also has the special ice fall move in this one. Hit him with some fire, and then you unlock the ice totem. There is also another new addition that I did in this one, which is boss music. So once I get into range of that bear and he sees me, the big black one in the middle, he will then play boss music, and when he dies, it will stop. It won't stop if the other bears die, and it will deactivate when the boss fight is over. That is the boss music playing now. There are bees on the side if you lure them into. Be very quick to stab. Spare and that is the level. You defeat him, it opens the wall back here, and you can move on to the next one, which will be taken over by Sean. But very quickly before that, let me run you through the Jira tasks that I completed in regards to this section. Let me very quickly quit the game, show you that works. And once we get to the main menu, quit out all the way. So, the Jira tasks from here were this is the polished new UI system. The pause menu music was one of the new sound effects. Stop pause menu music from continuing play when a save is loaded. Originally, when you would load a save, the music would continue. It no longer does that. Playtest looking for bugs and adjust tasks accordingly. I went through and I just played through everything. Any bug that I found, I wrote down, and I let the people that were in charge of that level or feature know so that they could adjust it. And if they needed help, then I would adjust it as well. Just enemy encounters in AOAG level. I spoke on this briefly when I was playing through it, that I adjusted the enemy placement as before. There was a leveling system, so it was easier to get over leveled and fight things, so there had to be more of them to counteract that and adjust boss enemy stats. The bosses originally had twice as much health as they have now, so it was more of a pain to fight them, um, especially with the new setup. Add boss music to main bosses. So I had to, as a player, want to have boss music play when I encounter a level end boss. Dependencies, I had to have the level bosses import the boss music, add boss music to bosses, and test to make sure boss music stops on boss death. And it does all of these things, as you saw in the video. It started playing once the boss bear was aggroed onto me, and stopped once he was defeated. That is it for me for now. Thank you for watching so far.
Hello, my name is Sean Ramsey. I'm part of Team Cobalt Acolyte, and this is the final build for our game, Bark. So, today I'm pretty much going over the fourth level of our game. But I'll go ahead and play through the whole thing. I'll probably cut that out though. just so that I can get up to speed. That way I'm not under level when I play through, and then I'll show the stuff that I did throughout the levels and such. I did have a little bit to do with the main menu, but another teammate's going to be doing that because they did a little bit more towards the end. But yeah, we'll go ahead and just get started. All right, now here we are at my level. Finally got a little bit leveled up, so we're going to just go ahead and progress through here. So we're gonna just deal with these people. That bird causes too much damage. You kind of want to prioritize the bird in most cases, but that mountain lion just does a lot of damage. Just take him out with the owl. Okay, come over here, got more health. Alright, just forgot. Alright, this is a pretty tricky puzzle here. You want to grab it and you gotta do some couple air dashes. You run up and hit him, and then you gotta throw it before you get up here. Because you have a set time. You did 6 seconds. Oh, first try, nice. About 6 seconds to throw it, and this takes about 7 to 8 seconds to get up here. So you gotta do a couple air dashes, and you gotta jump and throw it to make it. But yeah. Oh, jeez. I am so bad at PC. Forgive me. Oh my goodness. There we go. Yeah. I need to get better at this PC gaming. Anyway, we're up here. Got our lightning totem, which is very powerful. Yeah, died. So our health. Okay, get over here. I don't want to aggro the bird yet because he's annoying with these. I don't know why I made such a crazy combo. And now it's on. Alright, now they're gone. There we go. Now we can make our way up here. Next checkpoint. And come on this way. You see it's a pretty big mountain. Okay, so next up, we go up there's gonna be the boss fight. We have a couple extra totems. Like let's say you miss one during your playthrough, you have the option to get to these bosses. I'm gonna see if I can just come over here and snag this extra health over here without aggroing them. A couple wolves over there. You would take the left path, you end up dealing with them. We have another little parkour wall run area over there. It's like a risk reward. If you do the parkour, then you can avoid fighting the enemies. If you fail, you take damage, and you gotta fight the enemies as well. So you gotta pick and choose. We don't need those because we have all of them. So let's just get into this boss fight. Grab one of these, turn on my needed, and go for that bubble bear. Alright, just try to go for the bear first. Just yeah, the wolf enemy and alpha, it spawns in a path to fight alongside it. So we got these controls, don't kill me. I'm being carried by this raid right now. And again. Oh, you're so close. Oh, you're dead. Nice. Okay. I shouldn't ignore you. I shouldn't ignore you. Yeah. Alright, they're down. Nice. Okay, cool. Not that we need it, but we'll get some of our health back and get this one too. You know, those enemies do a lot of damage, and again, the bear boss is a pretty standard one. Just a big grizzly bear does a lot of damage. The wolf spawns in more wolves, and also does a whole lot of damage. So every time it does its own howl, like we have a howl that has elemental effects, its howl causing a pack of wolves every time it does it. So you got to take them out quick. So you want to target him first, but again, the bear does a lot of damage as well. But yeah, that is the end of my level. Let's go ahead and break through this. And I miss. Alright. Got a little bit closer. And we'll end the level probably here. Alright, through here. And we're able to progress over to the next level. Okay. So that's that portion of this game done. I'm going to go back to my level, I guess, to explain a couple of things. So let's go back to here. Alright, and then it's yes, okay, cool, got that right. Okay, so if we go here, I guess first thing, go down in order. We'll start with a checkpoint, which does exactly what you think it does. You go past the checkpoint when you die, you respawn at a earlier point in time. I did have an issue at first where it was not properly saving. We found out that's because we updated the game over HUD and I had it linked to the older one. But again, it was still causing issues, so I went ahead and fixed that. So I think the fastest one, see if I can do this without dying, is over here. Check this. And okay, I missed. I forgot some elevation there. Alright, so come in here. Got ourselves a checkpoint. I'll just go ahead and get jumped. And then you're back right here where we started. That's the checkpoint demonstrated. Next is my enemy. It's going a little hard to kind of go over this one, but you know we're having some issues where we wanted to fly around and go down towards the player, etc., etc. Here's a plodding animation, which I'm pretty sure you saw, but I can try to go just a little bit. Goes higher and better. It's not necessarily, it was just some issues we had that we had to fix. So, not too much going on there. Next up, finishing the puzzles. Again, you saw one of the puzzles over on the right side. I mean, on the left side. So after we had to make some adjustments. As you saw, we no longer have a double jump. We just have one higher normal jump. So I had to readjust some of the puzzles. You saw over there it did work. I can also let us show you the other side. I'm not too good at that puzzle, mind you. He starts from not being aggroed by all these things. Alright, so come up here. Gonna have to dash and okay. I'm not good at this, but you got basically you jump, hit the wall, jump, hit the wall. Obviously you can't do it backwards because higher elevation. But you get the point. You gotta it's a very precise type of jump. And when you do it, you get to skip the enemies, which I end up finding anyway. Yeah, so you fight those enemies. You can basically skip. And then you progress on to the boss fight. That was the other part of that. We'll go over here to the bug testing. We had some issues. Obviously, everyone has. here, finish, start to finish, just some generic stuff here. One thing that did come up was there were areas of the level that you could sort of get out of by jumping, so we end up having to fix all of those, which I guess I can show some of them. We can just jump back into it in a second though, no problem. But yeah, there was areas that we didn't have locked off properly that we had to take care of. So you can see now, for example, you can go through side of these sometimes, which now you can't, because this, this is one of them. We have some areas, for example, the trees. These, since they're kind of close to the wall, we just left, so you can kind of run past some of these to hide them. That's fine. But areas like this, you don't want to get through because you can just get the level. We went ahead and blocked off to keep from having issues. Okay, we have some issues over here as well. Over here, you don't want to really be able to go through level. Nobody. That is. Alright, that was hell. Just a couple. There was another one that was up here as well. Where if you were to come up to this side, you'll be able to get to the level here, but we also were able to fix that. As you can see, it stops you now. So yeah, we have some minor issues like that. Same thing over here. Can't really get up. You can also use this to get back up here if you need to. But yeah, you can't get out the level anymore. And then you pretty much did that all the way across. So those are the main things I took care of. Small thing I guess I can also go over is audio. I know in the past we had some issues with the sound was too loud. But then now it does work. Pretty loud up there, remember down. Also, when you click it, lets you hear how loud it would be. Same thing with the ambient. All that has also been adjusted. So yeah, we fixed some issues that had some sound. I mean, like the example throwing rocks, that was also pretty loud before too. So yeah, but yeah, that concludes my section of the level.
Hello, my name is Matthew Salazar, and this is my final sprint. My first task was to add layers onto the level. I did this by painting on different textures to the mountains, including grass, ground type, and mountains area for the mountainside. My second task was to fix areas that the player could jump on to when allowed to. This includes this cave area right here. The sides of the of the cave was not high enough, allowing the player to just jump over it and not having a way to get out. Also fixed on the mountain path, there were potholes that if the player was to fall in, they would not be able to get out. I also had to fix a few bugs that were on the wall run animations. And then I also added sound onto the wall run so that the player would know that they made contact with the wall. There was also an issue win condition at the end of the level. Created a small area that the player would have to reach after defeating the boss. This is a loose condition. I have several checkpoints throughout the level. To win after defeating the boss, you have to pick up a rock, break the door, and you will be able to win the game.
Hello, my name's Blake Moore, and this is my video on what I did this most recent sprint. I mainly took on the role of like doing some balancing and playtesting with the combat to try to make sure everything feels good and try to iron it out. So to start off, let me open this. Let me go ahead and go to the level that I normally use all my stuff at. Okay, so I'm going to go through task by task. So first off, I'll go ahead and look at my setup, the test area to run and balance. So over here is set up an interactive spawner to take an input from the player and spawn in different enemies based on what's selected. So to make playtesting and balancing the combat a little bit easier, I have it set to where the player can set what they're wanting to spawn in and can activate that to bring it in, and it can't be changed afterwards unless they go and reset it, which will clear it. Yeah, so let me go ahead and I'll just get a wolf up there. So the wolf's up there. Let me go back to my thing. Set up a tracking system to display the time to complete the encounter and to display the amount of remaining health and the lowest amount of health the player reached. So since the player gains health whenever they kill an enemy, I wanted to track the lowest health during combat to try to get that, because they might end up back at the top, like having a lot of health afterwards. But I wanted to see that point where they got close to being defeated. And so you see over here. So if I come in here and fight this wolf, I can kill it, come off the stage, and there's all my information. So my lowest health reached was 76. I killed one wolf, and the time was 7.4 seconds. And I come in here, reset it, brings me back to full health, gets rid of my rage meter, and I can go about getting more enemies to test out. Alright, so that would be that. It set up base damages to test with. I went ahead and just set the values in there to get like a base standpoint. It's for the elements, the elemental damages, to get a starting point. So balance player damage values for the player. I set up the environment, have different enemy combinations, track player health and all that, run the playtest with 10 players. And so for that, this is for the base combat. Yes. So for the base combat, look at it over here. I did 10 playtesters. I put them up against a bear, I put them up against a wolf, put them up against a mountain lion, and then gave them each their own little combo just to see how different combos would play out. Um, the average time for a bear was 10.8 seconds, and 59.5 health at the lowest. For the wolves here, 8.99 seconds, about 75 for the lowest health. And then over here for the mountain lions, 9 seconds, lowest health 50. So right here that's telling me, so the wolves are the easiest, which I designed them to be the easiest. They're little fillers, you put them in packs. The bears are a little tankier, they take a little bit longer and don't do as much damage, whereas the mountain lions, they can go a little bit faster than the bears, but they're doing a lot more damage. And so that reflects over here with like this one, for example, a one bear, two mountain lion. They said it was a scary combo and it was easy to get overwhelmed because a lot of that. My outliers with the damages and I mean the times and stuff, like I've made a note here, he was constantly jumping around while fighting, and that kind of needs to be addressed at some point. Right here, the player ended up at full by the end of the fight. It's that I started noticing that the life steal is overpowered and makes it way too easy. He was able to survive the max combo, but he almost died, but got a bunch of health back. Um, so over here, this person, he didn't have much experience with games, so he kind of stands out as an outlier and stuff. But I just made a note that he doesn't have much experience. And then the main one that I noticed, there was a bug with double attacking that was pointed out to me during this. You're able to immediately follow up an attack, and it made his time so much faster and just made all the encounters so much easier. So the last thing I was able to do was, so just going into this, I adjusted the lifesteal. I brought it down, and it made it flow a lot more. You're not getting as much health back per enemy, and also I got rid of the double attack bug. You can no longer do that, so the fights are more fair. Um, Going over to the Jira task for balancing the elemental damages, I got the base set. So the wolves have a weakness to fire, bear lightning, mountain lions ice, and so on and so forth. I got that in there, and here's my sheet for that. So what I did was I set up, I had each person fight the bear, the wolf, the mountain lion, and running with different elements. And here's what I came back with for the average times. So for the bear, the average time actually ended up being for the fire, even though it has the resistance here, so that explains why it takes longer. But there's only a 1.3 second difference between the fastest time and the lowest time. So I'm wanting to adjust those a little bit more to kind of make it pay off a little bit more and have more of an impact, because it was between zero point 0.8 to 1.4 seconds in between the lowest for each of these. So I just need to adjust those values a little bit more. Once again, he exploited and did the double hit. Yeah, so that's all of that stuff. I have it right here, what they're resistant to, they're weak against. And so you can see it was reflected here, they're weak against lightning. And so the player was able to finish that fight a little bit faster and took a little bit less damage because it was a little bit faster. And then here, though, the flip of that, so I don't, it's just the values are just too small, they're not making enough impact, and that needs to be addressed. Yeah, all right. So moving on from there, I fixed the hunter stand. I'm going to actually cut this recording and start up a new one next to the hunter stand. Make sure it's recording. Okay. Alright, coming back to the hunter stand that I created. Let me just go ahead and pause this real quick, and I'll get over to those. So when the boss is targeting the player, I wanted to display a beam tracking the wolf's movement, and then after a few seconds it'll shoot at the wolf. The beam helps indicate to the wolf when to dodge. When the wolf is near the stand will drop AoE damaging attacks to back the wolf off. So you'll notice the beam right here, how it starts blinking real fast, and then here comes the shot. So it helps you know when to get out of the way. you need to start dodging and stuff whenever that beam's about to go. And then when you get close to it, it starts throwing out dynamite. You can stun it by attacking its legs. It'll come back. It'll go back to attacking you. And this dynamite does hurt the wolf. And so it helps keep the wolf off of it. Keep stunning it by attacking its legs. And it gives more dynamic for things the wolf can do. But yeah, so just going back over that one right there, you notice how the beam was tracking the wolf's movement. It would blink right before it started attack, or right before it would shoot. And whenever it was near you, it dropped little TNT. And yeah, try to hit you. But yeah, okay. Thank you. My name's Blake Moore, Team Cobalt Acolyte, and that's me going over this most recent sprint. All right, thank you.